Hello there. I'm a physician who has spent over 30 years caring for adults over 60 here in the United States, and over the course of my career, I've learned something important. Good sleep isn't a luxury, but for many people past their 60s, it's something they've slowly been losing. Every year, hundreds of patients come to me with the same concern. Doctor, I'm exhausted, but the moment I lie down, I just toss and turn, or I fall asleep for a few hours, then wake up in the middle of the night and can't get back to sleep. I know exactly how that feels. You go about your day as usual, but when night falls, rather than resting, your mind races like a train you can't stop. Many people think sleeping pills are the only answer. But I've seen far too many cases where long-term use led to dependence, morning grogginess, and even memory issues. Believe me, you don't have to live that way. Deep, uninterrupted sleep can return if you know how to activate the body's own natural systems. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US. Powerful strategies I've successfully used with many of my patients right here in America. These aren't generic tips you've heard 100 times. They're grounded in science and enriched by decades of real-life experience working with thousands of older adults. You'll see that good sleep doesn't just start when your head hits the pillow. It starts with the small choices you make throughout the day. From soaking in the morning sun, to the meals you choose, to the evening rituals that prepare your mind for rest. And sometimes, just one small change, like sipping a calming herbal tea or using a weighted blanket, can open the door to a peaceful night. So if you're ready, let's dive into 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US, so you can not only sleep better, but also wake up healthier, sharper, and full of energy every single day. Picture this. It's a quiet evening here in the US. Outside, a gentle breeze brushes past. You're sitting in your familiar kitchen corner, holding a warm cup of almond milk blended with a spoonful of golden chamomile powder, a touch of honey, and a pinch of fragrant cinnamon. The warmth spreads through your hands, and the gentle aroma feels like it's soothing your mind. This is one of my favorite 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US. Linda, one of my patients, she's 62, once told me, "Doctor, I've tried every kind of sleeping pill, but it wasn't until I drank this that I finally slept like I did when I was young." The secret lies in apigenin, a natural compound in chamomile. It gently binds to certain receptors in your brain, signaling that it's time to rest, easing anxiety, and quietly opening the door to sleep. I often recommend my patients enjoy this sleep latte about 30 minutes before bedtime. Good sleep doesn't come from forcing yourself. It comes from creating a pause, a slower rhythm, a moment where both your mind and body can let go. And if you're looking for effective 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US, why not start with a warm cup of chamomile? You might just find that the conversation between you and your sleep changes forever. Think back to a recent night. You tossed and turned, shifting from one side to the other. The clock had already passed midnight, yet your eyes were still wide open. Your body felt heavy with exhaustion, but your mind was strung tight like a bow. This is exactly why in my 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US, I always talk about magnesium. One of my patients, Richard, he's 68, once told me, "Doctor, I never imagined that something as simple as magnesium could completely change my sleep." Magnesium isn't some mysterious miracle drug. It's an essential mineral that quietly flips the switch in your nervous system, shifting your body from alertness into relaxation. I usually recommend magnesium glycinate because it's paired with glycine, an amino acid that promotes deeper, calmer sleep, and it's also gentler on the stomach than many other forms of magnesium. For most people, I suggest taking 200-400 milliliters about 30 minutes before bed. It's like someone dimmed the lights and turned down the volume of the outside world, letting your body naturally drift into sleep. And if you're looking for effective 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US, remember, sometimes just a little magnesium can bring back those peaceful nights you thought were long gone. Picture a peaceful morning. The first rays of sunlight slip gently through your window. You've just finished breakfast and in your hand is a small supplement pill, one that's quietly setting you up for a deep, restful sleep tonight. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But that's exactly how vitamin D3 works, and it's one of the key strategies in my 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US. Helen, one of my patients, she's 65, once told me, "Doctor, I started taking D3 to keep my bones strong, but I never expected it to help me sleep better too." The truth is, vitamin D3 helps your body produce melatonin, the hormone that signals your brain when it's time to rest. But for your body clock to stay in sync, D3 needs to be taken in the morning. I often recommend pairing D3 with vitamin K2. Think of K2 as the guide that directs calcium into your bones instead of letting it build up in your blood vessels. Stronger bones, easier movement, and a more flexible body all contribute to deeper, more restful sleep. That's why, in my 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US, I tell patients, take D3 plus K2 right after breakfast, then spend 10-15 minutes in gentle morning sunlight. Just don't take it at night. You could accidentally disrupt your body's natural melatonin rhythm. Good sleep doesn't just begin at bedtime. It starts in the morning, the moment you choose to care for your body the right way. Think about this. It's lunchtime. You're enjoying a ripe banana or a warm bowl of oatmeal, not realizing that these simple foods are quietly setting you up for a deep, restful sleep tonight. This is one of the lesser-known secrets in my 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US. James, a 70-year-old patient of mine, once told me, "Doctor, I've tried all kinds of sleeping pills and still tossed and turned, but when I started getting the right amount of vitamin B6, I began sleeping so much better." B6 plays a key role in converting tryptophan, an amino acid found in food, into serotonin and melatonin. Serotonin helps keep your mood calm and steady, while melatonin is the gatekeeper that tells your brain it's time to sleep. I usually recommend getting B6 from natural sources like bananas, oatmeal, turkey, or sunflower seeds. If you use a supplement, take it in the morning or early afternoon so your body has time to process it throughout the day. But remember, more is not always better. Too much B6 over time can cause tingling or numbness in your hands and feet. So if you're looking for 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US, keep this in mind. Good sleep isn't magic. It's the result of small, smart choices made throughout your day. And maybe, just maybe, your breakfast could be the very first brick in building a peaceful night's sleep. Picture this. It's evening. After a long day, you're sitting quietly in your chair. The lights are soft, and there's no more ringing phones or urgent emails. Your body is trying to wind down, but your mind is still racing like a train with no brakes. This is when I often remind my patients about L-theanine, a key secret in my 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US. Susan, one of my patients, she's 64, once told me, "Doctor, I don't need sleeping pills. I just need a way to turn off the noise in my head." And L-theanine did exactly that. It promotes alpha brainwaves, the kind linked with relaxation, like the feeling you get sitting by the ocean, listening to the waves. At the same time, it quiets glutamate, a chemical that keeps your brain in high alert mode. I usually recommend taking 100-200 milligrams about 30-60 minutes before bed. L-theanine doesn't push you into sleep the way medication does. It simply opens the door so you can step into natural rest. During the day, you stay alert. In the evening, your mind lets go more easily. So if you're looking for 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US, consider L-theanine, a simple way to reclaim a quiet mind and let sleep arrive like a gentle whisper, not a command. Picture a peaceful morning. The first rays of sunlight slip gently through your window. You've just finished breakfast and in your hand is a small supplement pill, one that's quietly setting you up for a deep, restful sleep tonight. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But that's exactly how vitamin D3 works, and it's one of the key strategies in my 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US. Helen, one of my patients, she's 65, once told me, "Doctor, I started taking D3 to keep my bones strong, but I never expected it to help me sleep better too." The truth is, Vitamin D3 helps your body produce melatonin, the hormone that signals your brain when it's time to rest. But for your body clock to stay in sync, D3 needs to be taken in the morning. I often recommend pairing D3 with vitamin K2. Think of K2 as the guide that directs calcium into your bones instead of letting it build up in your blood vessels. Stronger bones, easier movement, and a more flexible body all contribute to deeper, more restful sleep. That's why, in my 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US, I tell patients, take D3 plus K2 right after breakfast, then spend 10-15 minutes in gentle morning sunlight. Just don't take it at night. You could accidentally disrupt your body's natural melatonin rhythm. Good sleep doesn't just begin at bedtime. It starts in the morning, the moment you choose to care for your body the right way. Picture this. It's a late evening and you're sitting at your kitchen table with a cool bowl of Greek yogurt in front of you, topped with rich, nutty pumpkin seeds and a drizzle of golden honey. Small, simple, but this little dish is actually one of the quiet secrets in my 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US, gently preparing you for a peaceful night's rest. Daniel, a 66-year-old patient of mine, once told me, "Doctor, I used to think going to bed hungry was good for me. But when I started eating a little of this before bed, I fell asleep so much easier." The magic lies in tryptophan, an amino acid that helps your body produce serotonin and melatonin. Serotonin keeps your mood calm, and melatonin signals your brain that it's time to rest. When you combine Greek yogurt, rich in protein, pumpkin seeds, full of healthy fats, and honey, a natural sugar, you're creating the perfect environment for tryptophan to enter the brain and do its job. I usually tell my patients to have this snack about 1 to 1.5 hours before bedtime, just enough to ease hunger without leaving you feeling too full. So if you're looking for 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US, remember, sometimes the key to a great night's sleep isn't in a pill, it's in a small, humble bowl that nourishes your body and gently soothes your mind. Picture this. It's a peaceful evening, and you step into the bathroom, letting warm water wrap around your body. Steam rises, and with every breath, the tension of the day drifts away. When you step out, your body begins to cool, a gentle signal to your brain that says, it's time to rest. This is one of the most effective relaxation techniques in my 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US. Carol, a 63-year-old patient of mine, once told me, "Doctor, I never imagined something as simple as taking a bath could help me sleep so deeply." Science backs her up. When your body temperature rises and then drops, it triggers your brain's sleep preparation mode, much like the sky transitioning from sunset into night. I often suggest adding one small but powerful step: lavender essential oil. Lavender contains linalool, a compound that calms the nervous system, slows the heart rate, and eases the mind. About 15-20 minutes after your bath, dilute 1 to 2 drops and apply it to your wrists or your pillow. That gentle scent can follow you right into sleep. If you're looking for 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US, give this evening ritual a try. Just remember, pure essential oil must be diluted before it touches your skin. You might discover that sleep doesn't actually begin when you close your eyes. It begins the moment you allow yourself to let go and let the day drift away. Picture this. It's a summer evening and you pour yourself a glass of deep red liquid, glistening under the kitchen lights. It's not wine, it's tart cherry juice, a type of sour cherry that Americans have used for years as a small but powerful secret in my 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US. Michael, a 68-year-old patient of mine, once told me, "Doctor, I tried sleeping pills, but I always woke up feeling groggy. When I drink this juice instead, I sleep deeply and wake up refreshed." Tart cherries are naturally rich in melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to rest, and anthocyanins, powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that help your body recover while you sleep. I usually suggest drinking about 100-200 ml roughly an hour before bed. That gives your body enough time to absorb it and gently ease you into a state of relaxation. If you have diabetes, Choose an unsweetened version to avoid spiking your blood sugar at night. So if you're looking for 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US, remember, sometimes the secret isn't in complicated solutions. It's in a simple glass of fruit juice, carrying nature's perfect balance, ready to close the chapter on your day and open the door to a peaceful night. Picture this. It's a cold night. You lie down and pull over yourself a blanket that's just the right weight. Not too heavy, not too warm, just enough to feel like someone is holding you close. That feeling doesn't just keep you cozy. It slows your heart rate, deepens your breathing, and helps your mind let go of the day's worries. This is a wonderful suggestion from my 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US. Evelyn, a 71-year-old patient of mine, once said, "Doctor, ever since I started using a weighted blanket, I've been sleeping through the night. It feels like I'm protected, safe." Science explains why. The gentle pressure from the blanket activates the parasympathetic nervous system, reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, and boosts serotonin, a neurotransmitter that promotes relaxation and better sleep. I recommend choosing a blanket that's about 7 to 10% of your body weight. For many people, that's all it takes to turn the bed into the safest, most comforting place after a long day. So, if you're looking for 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US, consider a weighted blanket, not just to keep you warm, but to soothe your heart and wrap your sleep in a gentle embrace all night long. You see, good sleep isn't some far-off dream. We can't stop time from passing, but we can learn to listen to our bodies and honor our natural rhythms. The 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US I've shared today aren't just theories. They're practical solutions that have helped hundreds of my patients in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s reclaim deep, restful nights and wake up feeling energized. The key is to start small and stay consistent. Whether it's a warm cup of tea, a few minutes in a soothing bath, or simply getting morning sunlight, each is a small brick that builds the solid foundation for better sleep. If you're over 60 and looking to improve your quality of life, remember this. Sleep is one of the most valuable gifts you can give yourself. And when you sleep well, you're not just healthier, you're living more fully every single day. If you found these 10 advanced sleep tips for adults over 60 in the US helpful, hit that like button to show your support, subscribe so you won't miss the next video, and share this with friends or loved ones who are also searching for better sleep. Who knows? Your share might be the reason someone finally rediscovers the peaceful nights they thought were long gone.